I was like, babe, see, that's why I need some guy friends. I didn't want to come off as a weirdo, or that I'm so lustful, or that I'm so turned on by the sight of men that I can't be around them.
Don't nobody rush into my wife DMs like, hey, I wanna mentor you. Nah, we don't know you, homie.
I be telling Nambi like, that ain't your friend, baby.
Yep.
He looked at my booty the whole time. He was staring at me. He was rubbing his hands, licking his lips, you know, doing all of that.
If we're gonna go to the next level, then we also have to grow in maturity.
Yes.
And knowing that, okay, discern the situation, make sure it's right.
Yeah.
But yes, you may have mentors or coaches that are not just all women. We may have to be open to me dealing with, women. This is an Iwebu production.
Period. This topic we had to revisit. We've actually discussed this before here on Pillow Talking with the Iwebus, but our opinions kind of changed. Check out this clip from Pastor Tim Ross.
Married man, I don't have any female friends. Well, your life sucks. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you don't have any female friends. That is crazy. I'm a woman. I don't have any male friends. I only have female friends. Only male friend I have is my husband. Dang, you don't have a brother? You don't have any spiritual brothers? Man, that's crazy. And now look, if you need that because you're so horny and your penis is so wild that at the very mention of another woman or close proximity with her, your peen's like, maybe you need to go to therapy. Yay! But I have god sisters that have literally spent the night at our house with my wife here. I'm not attracted to them. They're my sisters, and ew. Let's stop acting like every man and woman in a room is now just a penis and a vagina, and there's no way they won't come together. If you are dating somebody, establish the type of boundaries that honor both God and the person you are dating.
Well, we've talked about this subject before. Hopefully I'll be able to pull up a clip. Check this out. Can your spouse be friends with the opposite sex? Can I have a guy best friend? Take your time.
Well, the only way that you could have been friends with the opposite sex is if y'all were already friends before we even got together.
I don't care how long you've been friends with her. If she's not trying to be friends with me, and it's kind of a little shaky if she's single as well. I don't know how I feel about you being best friends with a single woman. So before I stated that it was an absolute no for us. And I think for me, part of it was just how slippery the slope can be. It seems like people don't cheat with like a stripper or like a prostitute. Like it's typically someone that has been around, a brother, somebody at church, the bro that comes around all the time, that know your kids. Like those are typically the people that people cheat with. You know, it is the person that, you know, my husband, you know, my wife, like you know, my kids. So one reason I know we thought about it is because we've seen it done the wrong way. Secondly, because we don't play about our flesh. We don't think that we are stronger than what we are. We also don't put ourselves in situations that looks compromising, it just will come off weird. Y'all know I said it. I don't like being cooped up in a corner in a public setting with another man. Like I'm just always being aware. But then I feel like our opinions have shifted a little bit here recently. One of our, I will say, soon to be mentors, I remember I told you, I was like, babe, I think I'm gonna probably have male friends. And you weren't like, oh, why? And you let me explain. And so I'll just speak on my reasoning now, why things have shifted for me a little bit. One, because I am, I guess, this divine, super different type of woman, Namdi has told me. And I have a lot of traits that are in resemblance to a leader that is a man. If y'all don't know what the DISC assessment is, I am a high D. I think I'm like a super high D. So I'm very decisive. Definitely. I'm very like, I know what I want to do. These are the decisions. I've been hired to be a decision maker. I'm a leader. You know, I'm a leader, I'm a preacher, I'm a coach, a mentor, like I'm all of these things. And so I tend to relate to men very easily. I mean, with ease. And what was so crazy is in our video that we talked about this before, it was an absolute no, but I had male friends that I talked on the phone with. They were our brothers in Christ. And so I was like, dang, I didn't even think about it, but I was like, no, I have had male friends in this marriage. And so we kind of started talking about it. And not only that, it was kind of like this mature conversation where like, where we are going, we will be around the opposite sex. Where we are going, we will be around men and women that will probably become our friends. I don't know if we've kind of like said this is what it is, but another thing that made me kind of reflect on this question is I don't want to be also seen as a weirdo. That I am scared to be around men, or like that I'm so lustful.
Mentor be like, hey, listen, give me a shout tomorrow. I want to talk to you about this. And it's somebody that we've seen, watched, seem like they, got some pretty decent integrity, and you're like,
my husband.
He's just like, hey, listen, it ain't even none of that, but don't even worry about it.
And I think that takes discernment too. So there are some cases like, with a man like, hey, we should do and he kind of on some weird stuff. Then I'm like, okay, for sure. DM my husband and he'll get back to you. But in other situations where this is a God-fearing man, this is a man of integrity, this is a woman of integrity, this is business about to happen. We've actually had a recent situation where we were about to hire on someone else on our team, and it was a woman, and I don't think I've ever talked to her.
No.
And you did, and so I feel like we're kind of like, hey, and we're also learning each other's strengths.
Yes.
So I am not a talker. Well, on here I am, but in real life I'm not. Namdi does that very well. And just to wrap up my thoughts, I didn't want to come off as a weirdo, or that I'm so lustful, or that I'm so turned on by the sight of men that I can't be around them.
Come together. What you saying?
They have to come together. Like I didn't want
to. Ross is
and it made me think about that, because I'm like, dang, is this kind of weird? Yeah. But I do think it can be a slippery slope. And so I don't know. What do you think, babe? He's crazy. It can sound corny, like, oh no, I don't have any. But I also understand it because I once upon a time said it, because it is a slippery slope. It's especially a slippery slope if your male friend, as a woman or as a wife, is providing something your husband isn't. I think that's when it gets slippery.
Yeah, when we get like
vice versa.
These
you talking
conversations and we talking about our relationship. Now that's
not even just that. Like, there's ways to find out that someone else is not who your partner is and who you hope them to be without even talking about that. Yeah. So for instance, we're just chopping it up. Like, say I'm on the phone with a brother in Christ and he's like, man, TK, I've been thinking about getting this property. Me and my wife, we kind of chopping up. You know how she is. She doesn't necessarily agree because she feels like we already have these other things. And I'm like, man, bro, I ain't even gonna lie. I feel like you should have faith and walk in that thing. And in his mind, the biggest problem they have is that his wife doesn't have faith. And I'm speaking something that is missing in his marriage without even knowing it. Yeah. And that's when those type of emotional bonds can begin to happen unintentionally. Literally unintentionally. Like, he's saying something to me that my husband is not. We ain't talking about relationships. We're not crossing lines, but it's feeding something in me that you are not. And that's when I think that's kind of why we got to the place where we're like,
Yeah, I think that it's a very nuanced situation. Depends on who the people are. So don't nobody rush into my wife DMs like, hey, I want to mentor you. Nah, we cool. Like,
I have had that too.
Right, huh?
I have had that too.
What's that? People just talking about they want to.
Yeah.
Nah, we don't know you, homie. It's just it got to be someone that we know their track record or so.
Right.
And the reason why we kind of open up to this is because we've been in different rooms now. And like you said, we're learning our strengths. And we both talked about this on flip side. Like, on your part, I'm like, you a high D. A lot of the people that a lot of times you connect with and vibe with the most, these guys are usually ministers. Right. Because you're really a minister at heart. Like, that's who you are. Yeah. So, and then we thought about it. It's like, okay, two of our brothers in Christ, or one of our brothers in Christ, and then one of them was actually more of like a mentor. So they actually had contact with you. They actually were able to talk to you, but I could trust them.
Yeah, we talked on the phone.
They also here's the thing too. They also were cool with me.
Right.
Okay. They also hit my phone lines up too.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just a one-way type of deal. No. And I'm like, you know what? If we're gonna go to the next level, then we also have to grow in maturity. Yes. And knowing that, okay, discern the situation, make sure it's right. Yeah. But yes, you may have mentors or coaches that are not just all women. Okay,
Right.
because most women aren't Sarah Jakes and
Right.
and Donnie Wiggins and all these
Right.
other type of women who are just like boss chicks and getting it done. It's just not usually that. You usually gonna have some of these other mentors. So I was like, I have to open up to those things and just look at the man's track record. And then I also told you, I was like, for me, I'm a high I, for the disc assessment, and so I'm a people person. Is when you get on camera, you better on you're more on the talking, but when it comes to actually in front of people and like I'm that guy who gonna be there sitting there talking with you. One of the mentors that I watch, he has a group of people that follow him that's a mixed bag. Okay, it's probably half and half women and men. And I said, babe, if I end up doing anything in those aspects, I can't just be for me. Probably just all men. Probably not gonna rock with me. I know me good enough to know that I'm probably not for an extra alpha masculine real man. That's just probably not me. I have that side, but I also have more of the sensitive side and the emotion side too, that I could connect with both. And so I say we may have to be open to me dealing with women, mm-hmm. observing them and with discernment.
Right. You're more patient. And so this has become a conversation more so about our strengths and our weaknesses. Yeah. And so you happen to have a very gentle, patient, like you'll sit there and talk to people for hours. I will. And I'm more so like, what's the solution? Yeah. Like, what are we getting to? Okay, okay, do you want to stay or you want to leave? Like, you want to go do that? Or like, I'm the person that gives the jobs. You're you're like HR. It makes sense why I would connect to men and why you connect to women. And so I think it got to a place where it is just immature for us to deny a part of ourselves that was given to us by God. Like, God made me this leader that I am, that I can be decisive. I know how to make decisions quickly on the spot. I know how to lead. But those type of characteristics tend to be of a man. And so, of course, it makes sense that I would have business conversations and even actual friendships with men. Mm-hmm. And it's also something that, just to go on another angle, with friendships for me, I've been telling you, I'm like, babe, women want a lot in these friendships. And I tend, for you, yeah. It's hard for me to show up as much as they want me to. And I sometimes get jealous of men in their relationships. I watch you not talk to your friends for months and y'all get together and be like, what's up, bro? How's the man? My friends will be mad at me.
We just pick up where we left off at. That's how
my friends will be like, what did I do? Did I offend you? Girl, I've been working and I've been hustling and I've been in this house. And so I remember I told you that and I was like, we weren't even considering it at this time. And I was like, babe, see, that's why I need some guy friends. Like, that's why I need to be able to have guy friends because they won't care either if I don't talk to them for 2 months. So on the friendship side as well. So not even just business, that will I know that I operate with men well, but I also friendships because they don't expect much. And I don't expect much either. So
I think that for anyone that's watching this and your situation, you have to assess it a little bit there.
If your husband's a cheater or you are, that's not
good. And here's the thing too. You may not have that luxury. You messed up in the past.
Right.
You sitting there looking at this like, look, you see them? No. You did too much. Right. So you don't have that. We don't have no issues. We never had no slip up, mess ups, nothing on the side, anything like that. Nah. So I think it also came down to that, baby, that we've gotten to a level of trust. Right. It took me a long, long time based off of just where I come from, man. It's knowing the stuff that I know. I mean, I was cheating and I've seen some of my people's like cheat with women that are engaged, all this stuff. So it took me a minute to just get those type of things out of my mind and just say, man, I have to trust my wife. I mean, I had to trust you anyway. You've been in studio sessions when I'm not there. You just got to assess your situation. See what exactly works for you. I feel him. It can't be like this thing where it's like you can't even be together. It's like your penis and vagina come through like a magnet. But hey, don't play it too cool. Some people is like that, unfortunately. Yes. Some people just like, no, you don't. That Negro, no, he need to go sit in the corner. No, you don't. No, you don't even look at her. Like that may be what that man needs. And some women like that too. Yes. She needs not to be near a Negro that smell good, especially strong, buffed up, all that stuff. Like,
And another thing to take into account is, where is your marriage at too?
Yes.
If you are deeply unsatisfied with your wife and you are deeply unsatisfied with your husband, y'all don't need to do that either.
Yeah.
So like, I wish we had time to like give y'all all the reasons why maybe you shouldn't do this yet. And maybe it'll come in the future. But for sure, if you are lustful, if you are a cheater, if you cheated in the past, if you are not in a good place in your marriage, this is not a conversation for you. This is not a conversation for you. But this is a conversation for married couples to not be weird. You know, to not be like, oh no, he's talking to my like it's almost kind of scary if you don't trust your spouse to have a 15-second conversation. Now keep it short. And then also pray for discernment. That's the last thing. Pray for discernment. Like we know, well, I know Namdi thinks everybody's good people. But for me, I know when a woman is not, she was looking at you, nope. Yeah. And I discern when men are that way. I be telling Namdi like, that ain't your friend, baby. Yep. He looked at my booty the whole time. He was staring at me. He was rubbing his hands, licking his lips, you know, doing all of that. So discern. Use discernment in this. Y'all let us know what y'all think down below. The question is, do you think marriages need friendships of the opposite sex? Do you think need it? Do you think they actually need it? Or is it just, it doesn't matter that much? We would love to know y'all thoughts down below.
Hey, thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you could do us a huge favor, please hit that like button and please subscribe.
Yes, and please do not forget to hit that notification bell. We need y'all to be locked in every single time we drop this fire content. Also, we need y'all to follow us on all social media platforms at the Ewables. And look, we will see y'all on the next video.